Well, my dear friends, we are. And I wonder if we'd ask ourselves, what presence did we walk in the door with this morning? What presence do we have about us sitting here together as a family? Is it loving and kind and ready to share, give and receive? Or is it a little grumpy because it's really cold and the traffic was horrible and I had to let the car run a long time? Whatever that is, that's the energy, that presence we have. That's the energy, the consciousness that we share with everyone around us. So maybe we could all kind of be aware a little more of just what presence we are as we walk into a room, as we sit down together, as we get out there on the highway. So, just something to ponder, and so it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the old familiar faces that we haven't seen for a while, and a few new faces. Welcome, welcome. Just a show of hands, and you don't have to if you don't want to, but how many of you are single among us? Okay. How many are partnered?
Apartment?
Partnered. Okay. Well, that's off from the averages. I was amazed to see shelves already stocked with pink, red, and white items and hearts at Christmas, even before the discounts had happened to clear out the Christmas items. Pink, red, and white, not the Christmas pink, red, and white, right? The upcoming holiday, over many centuries, has evolved from kind of some dark roots into a holiday celebrating love and romantic partnerships. When I was a kid, I looked forward to the bag stuffed full of all those colorful cards and the conversation hearts and the special cookies and treats. But over time, sometimes I was disappointed because there were other kids who maybe didn't have to live with one pair of shoes for the whole year, and the bags were a little less full for some of us. But I was so excited when I'd go shopping to pick out the best box to share with everybody with the most colorful cards and fill them out and put them in the bags. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. For those of us not partnered, it can feel sometimes a bit lonely and sad coming up on this holiday. In response to February 14th feeling sad, a young man named Dustin Barnes created Singles Awareness Day, SAD, for his friends to enjoy singleness rather than drown in the sorrows or feelings of isolation. They chose February 15th as a protest of Valentine's Day, but also because they could score candy and love-themed items at a huge discount. What's better than chocolate and truffles? Chocolate and truffles at 50% off. So this holiday that began among some high school boys was copyrighted in 2005 as a reminder that you don't need a relationship to love yourself, your family, or friends. Over 50% of people are single. Another holiday that has evolved is Galentine's Day. Well, that's, okay, what kind of joke is that? It began as a fictional holiday on the TV show Parks and Rec in 2010. It is celebrated on February 13th as a time to celebrate friendships, especially among women. Many have accepted this day as a day to hang out with best friends and those those you adore, regardless of gender. This day celebrates female friendships and elevates their status to that of romantic partnerships, not as a consolation prize for those who aren't partners. Spa days, crafting, picnics, parties, special times to deepen connections. I saw a post by some women I just treasure that this week they got together sharing wonderful food, created vision boards, had a great meal, and had good bonding, setting their consciousness for the year coming ahead. Women's relations are some of the best. I just love it, right? We speak of a we consciousness here, but what are we doing to practice this beyond our walls? We can practice unity by including those who may feel sad, SAD, or marginalized. Perhaps they've been overlooked, or maybe dismissed or knocked down when they tried to share a thought or an idea. Oh no, we've got this. We've got this handled. We don't need your help. The message there is we don't need you. Ouch, that hurts. Where is the unity or Christ consciousness in that kind of behavior? These holidays are about love. But what is love? Okay, I studying words, I'm not a poet, but sometimes when we translate things, they lose a lot every time they get translated. Something gets taken out of it. Once upon a time, I recall studying and defining the word love from the Greek translations of the Bible. Yes, I studied the Bible. And I know some of you might not believe that, okay? From the Greek word love in the original translations, there were actually 5 different ways that it was presented in the biblical translations. Agape is unconditional love or selfless love. Some would say godly love, but it means love without expectation of a return. Eros, if you're lucky enough to have that going on, romantic or erotic love, sentimental love and physical affection. Philia, affection or platonic love, love without sexual attraction, the deep love between friends and equals. Some would say brotherly love, but that leaves out the sisters. Sisters matter too, okay? I had to look up the pronunciation of this because I would say storge, but it's actually storge, and S-T-O-R-G-E. Familiar love, and that doesn't mean what we know commonly. It means love as in a family, like of parents for children. That sets the foundation for our relations later in life and how we interact with others, and how children also see themselves. Mania or mania, which that's obsessive love that's kind of gone astray and it's a little out of whack, when a partner feels obsession and outrage. Ludus, L-U-D-U-S, playful love. That's the infatuation, falling in love, the butterflies in your tummy, the tickly feeding, the excitement over the little cards and letters, and oh my goodness, this is so wonderful, right? Pragma, enduring love. That's when we've gone through the trials and hardships and maybe long-term partners or friendships, when we still love in spite of all the things we've been through together. And the last one is self-love. Self-love is about being compassionate and accepting yourself right where you are. So may we celebrate the upcoming holidays, the 13th, 14th, and 15th, Galentine's, Valentine's, and SAD, Single Awareness Day, by starting with self-love. Reach out to our gals or singles and practice philia. If partnered, enjoy some eros, and work towards pragma, that enduring love. And finally, may we all strive to experience agape, that love that embodies the principles of unity, that welcomes and accepts every soul as the precious aspects of divine that we are. In closing, Valentine's will always be special to me, as it's the birthday of my son, the best gift a mother could ever receive on Valentine's Day. Namaste.
Oh, Sabrina, thank you for a very uplifting, and as I thought, I had lots of thoughts. The sad part was funny. I really enjoyed that. But just to let you know how kind of things work in the spiritual place, usually I email the pianist and Sabrina and Ward the order of service ahead of time, so they know what the music is and the thing, so Ward can do the thing remote. And I forgot to do that this week, and Sabrina never got a copy of the order of service. And the first song we're going to sing this morning is "I Love Myself the Way I Am." Now I think that's divinity in action, so to speak. But thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. It's good to see all of you this morning. A little frosty this morning, I think.
Not bad.
Thursday. This Thursday will be the ladies' spiritual book study, if I'm not mistaken, 9:45 in the hall.
Actually, no, it won't be in the hall.
Oh,
We're meeting at Valley Village in the clubhouse.
cool.
No, because it's warm.
Yeah, no, okay. Well, warm.
Yeah.
All right.
Needs information.
All right, very excellent. Monday evening, Healing Circle is still on sabbatical. We'll let you know when that starts again. There's a lot of people. Any other upcoming events? Board meetings next Sunday. The following Sunday is potluck. Bonnie?
Well, I told people where I live that you're gonna have bingo,
Okay.
and they, I'll try to find out if there's any plans, you know. And it's
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. We're going to talk about that next week at the board meeting. Got John Allred, the guy that ran the bingo machine for 20 years. He and I went through it the other day. I'm going to ask somebody to give me a hand to put the ball pop-up machine, I call it the popcorn machine in my car. It needs a new motor. The motor doesn't wind up, doesn't blow enough air, but everything works. And I can get a new motor at Ranger and we will be fine. It's just a 2-hour project in my shop. And so we can be thinking about that board and bingo committee, and nothing's holding us back now but fear. So we can proceed with that. Thank you for bringing that up, Bonnie. Anything else that we ought to be thinking about? Okay. I talked with Catherine yesterday. Catherine is recuperating nicely, slowly, but nicely. She doesn't have the constant pain anymore. She has good days and bad days. That's how it is, but she's getting better and gonna get better. So she's got doctor's appointments, I think, this Tuesday on follow-up after a surgery. So, and she wanted me to tell everybody, thank you so much for the emails and the messages. And she got cards and a big card with everybody on it. So thank you for keeping her in your prayers, thoughts, and light. And we should continue doing that because that makes the recovery more better. Ron's been in our prayers and in our light list for a very long time and will continue to be.
Thank you.
And there's somebody else. She isn't here this morning. I found out at 8 o'clock last night. Kelly was walking yesterday for a lunch engagement with the guy that writes the books. I forget his name, won't come out of my head right now. Anyway, they're going to meet at Olive Garden.
Charles.
Who?
Charles Rubin.
Charles Rubin. And she slipped on some wet, icy place, fell down and cracked her head, and it got blood. She had to go to the hospital and get stitches. She's fine. No thing when you bang your head stuff. No concussion. No broken bones. No neck out. She just bummed up. But I think it would be adorable. Kelly is the one that always sends the cards to everybody, has for decades. I'm going to holler her address out, and I think it would be great if every one of us would send her 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 get well cards. Just because she's the get well lady, so I think she should receive what she gives. Her address is, are we ready for this? As soon as I find it. 7241 Camino, Camino, Colegio, Colegio, Roanoke Park, 94928. And I think we should just flood her mailbox for a week. She'll be back next Sunday. She just was feeling a little punky and decided not to come today. She's got a bandage around her head, looked like she was in a plane wreck. But anyway, so, but the good news is she's fine. So, let's speak now out loud the name of anyone that might use some light and some love and some prayer.
Cassandra.
Cassandra?
Hunt and Hope.
Hope.
Pam,
Pam?
Jackie,
Jackie?
Kelly.
Kelly?
Debbie,
Danny?
Tim and Chris.
Okay.
Sherry. My niece. Ann.
Okay.
Sherry.
Sherry?
Rosemary.
Rosemary?
Will.
Will? We all know people that are going through challenges. Everyone in this room will go through challenges. Every one of us will have dark days. And these names we just heard, let's send our light and our love and our prayers to those who are walking in challenge, walking in darkness. To the highest good, and so it is. Amen. Now, let's stand up and sing, I love myself the way I am, just like Sabrena told us that that's how we should start every day. Are here for the first time, You are about to experience the one traditional thing we've been doing for 125 years. We greet each other in the traditional Church of the Oaks fashion, which is however you would like and whatever you're comfortable with. But most of us do a little hugging. It's that time. How about just a big deep breathe in and just really savor what we just exchanged with each other. Just a love energy, just a caring. And I don't think it gets better than that, to be able to sit in a room with and be able to just look and accept and hug everyone in the room. That's a special kind of love, special kind of peace, and we're all part of it. That's part of our abundance. We have great abundance here. And I think the reason we have abundance is because we just show gratitude for it, and it just keeps showing up. We don't pass the basket saying, give us money. There's a basket in the back if you choose to share your time, your talent, thought, and treasure in whatever fashion. But the best part of abundance is what we're realizing and being aware of each other, all the things we have. 120-year-old buildings paid for. You know, it's just, yeah, we got some challenges. That's what life is. But abundance, it's everywhere. We just have to give thanks and open the door, and it just comes in. Everything that we need. So let's read together our affirmation of abundance, may we? To realize an abundant life, one must practice giving, receiving, and gratitude. May we ponder that wisdom, sir. Thank you, Wayne. And speaking of gratitude, I'd like to thank Wayne and Dick and everybody that took care of the ranch while I was off and away last weekend. I enjoyed my day off, and I think it's great to know that we can just keep on going whether I'm here or not. And I don't want to get too never mind. But thank you one and all. Enjoyed my day off. As we prepare ourselves for our time of meditation this morning, let's sing together Only Believe, number 152 in the Winds of Song.
The rose meditation seemed appropriate for today. We use the symbol of a rose as a tool to guide us into a meditation. I think that we can find roses all around the room, and in your mind's eye, start by picturing a rose as you close your eyes. See its petals, its color, its beauty, and recognize it and its vibration as a symbol of love. That rose in front of you and in your mind's eye is grounded to the earth. It's still growing. It's still viable. It still holds a life force energy. Imagine your love in that rose and an exchange between you that grows and expands as the aroma of the rose does. Turn the rose away from you at this point and dust your aura off with it. Fill your personal space with its beauty, its love, its scent. Fill your space with love. Recognize it as your own love and your connection. Take some deep breaths, filling yourself with scent, filling yourself with love and with connection. The rose can protect you as you drift away into your meditation, finding your heart space truly filled with love as well. Release that which does not feel comfortable and happy to you, and receive back in the kindness, the warmth, and yes, the love that surrounds you here. Feel your heart fill also with gratitude, enjoyment, and selflessness. What are you able to give back into the world? Make the connection between that which you release and that which you receive with each breath, as you find that quiet space that will give you a few minutes peace. The more you give, the more you connect, the more you receive. Blessings be.
So I thank you very much. Is there anybody in here who does not participate with some sort of media? Some sort? I think we are living in according to media, all kinds. Social media, TV, television, radio, movies, even publishing. We are living in a, what would you call it, a quagmire of chaos. That's what they sell us. Outside of it, except for days like today when they sell us entertainment and diversion. I mean, I'm talking about, I think today is like the Super Bowl thing, and we all pay to watch it, and unless you're really rich, you can pay to go see it. Grown people playing a kid's game for billions of dollars. But for the most part, they sell us anger, frustration, chaos of all kinds. And when we participate in that media, we are participating in the chaos, and all of us do, a certain extent. But that chaos is just that. That's what our brains process. That's what our hearts process. And we have other options. We have a choice. We can choose not to participate in the chaos any more than we have to, and we pretty much have to in this society. But everybody today is talking about Valentine's Day and love. Does anybody here have no one in their life that they care about or love or like? We all do. And I wonder if we shut off the media, if we just thought a little bit, how many people have we been wanting to call, we just haven't got the time, haven't taken the time, it hasn't been on the list, to just call and catch up. How are you doing? I got a call yesterday from an old friend. Haven't heard from you in a while, just wanted to see if you were still alive and still kicking and how high. And it was nice to hear from that. It was Krista who called. And it just, don't we all have people that we kind of owe a call to? We have a friendship, a relationship that we haven't invested a whole lot of time, effort, and energy into. What would happen if over the next few days we just chose to give them a call? How many of us know somebody that's reached that point in life that's a little tough? They're in a place that's pretty dark. How about you? I don't know. Grab a couple grilled cheese sandwiches and walk over, a bag of chips or a deli sandwich, just walk over. Just say, hey, I just wanted to hang out for a while. It's not really that bright in this room, it's just I'm full of sunshine and I came to see you. And we'll eat some food or some junk food and laugh and try to tell stories about stuff that we've gone through together. That's the thing in our lives that has true value, is loving each other. On your order of service, the best quote on the whole thing is that little short quote from Rumi. Love is the bridge between you and everything. I think that is the most profound sentence I've maybe ever heard in my life. And it doesn't make any difference which kind of love. Could be all 5 of those that Sabrena was talking about. It doesn't make any difference. Whatever that caring, whatever that compassion, that feeling, that passion, whatever kind of love you possess for another human being or another activity or another plant or another kind of animal, pet. Love is the bridge that puts value into that experience, puts value into that thought process. These cold mornings, I come by a little before 8 o'clock and I turn the heat on. Catherine did it until she became ill, and I thought nobody else was standing around, so I just come by and it's kind of okay. And I turn the heat on and then I go down to Twins and eat breakfast. And on Sundays, I see a couple of guys I've known for decades. One guy's name is Jim. He used to sell and service copy machines. He was a copy machine repairman in all the print shops that I moved printing equipment in. And the other guy, his name's John. And John hauled trash for a living, and offered a courier delivery service to the printers around. That's how I met John. And Jim still drives, and Jim just last week had his last chemo treatment. He has prostate cancer. Everything's going pretty good for Jim. His energy's coming back. And all through this whole process, every Wednesday and every Sunday, he picks up our friend John, who has Parkinson's and advanced Alzheimer's. And they go eat breakfast and spend 2 or 3 or 4 hours having breakfast and annoying the wait staff at whatever restaurant they choose. But I talked with them this morning, and it was so touching that even through all the puking of chemo, Jim still found it possible every Wednesday and every Saturday to show his love for John. Get him out of the dark house, the place with very little past, present, or future, and go have good times. Go share love with each other. And don't all of us know of a John? Don't all of us know of somebody that could use some attention? Whether it's a phone call, email, text, whatever. But in person is the best there is, because that energy flows. That love and caring you have for each other, it's in your eyes. You feel it. And I can't think of anything more valuable than that exchange of empathy, compassion, love, caring, whatever you want to call it. We may not be able to label it. We don't have to. We know it when we are experiencing it. We know it when we're sharing it. We know it when we receive it. I got some cool news this week. My 22-year-old granddaughter, who is in college, trying to be a design engineer for NASA, lives in Ohio. She said, "Grandpa, you're going to be home between the 21st and the 25th of March?" I said, "I sure can be." She said, "I miss you. I'm going to come spend a week with you." How many grandchildren do that with their grandpas? There's nothing that feeds us like receiving and giving love. Nothing. Find that John can't get out. Go see him. Take him some cookies. You know, I try very hard to find people to come and talk to us about ways that we might share this thing called empathy or compassion or love or caring. I met with the program development director for COTS. We could go Tuesday morning, Wednesday, Thursday morning, I don't remember. One day last week. We had a delightful 2-hour meeting talking about all the things going on at COTS. And I said, is there anything we could, do? We do the welcome baskets and stuff, and we have our house that we rent to COTS for homeless families to live in. And she said, yeah, you folks did something for us a few years ago. You had a bunch of ladies come down on Petaluma Boulevard and do a couple hours of cleaning in one of our apartments at our family shelter. And she said, we have turnover there all the time. And she said, we were thinking about if we could find a little group, 2, 3, 4 people that would be available like once a month to a set date, we could just schedule that as cleanup day for the next new tenants that come in. And so we used to have a group here called the Crisis Wranglers. And we'd get together anytime there was a fire, an earthquake, or some kind of emergency, and we'd do cool things. We'd gather stuff. We'd provide service of some kind or another. And I said, maybe we could recreate that Crisis Wranglers into the cleaning crew, or whatever we call it, and get some people that would sign up on a committee and that like the first Saturday or second Saturday or third Wednesday, whatever, and just be able to provide a service to serve our fellow human beings as a little service community, a little service committee. And so we're going to get together again and talk about that possibility, and maybe we could talk it up within our congregation. Maybe we could have like another little Crisis Wranglers committee that just helped clean out an apartment and get it ready for the next homeless folks that we're finally going to get a place to live, families. I also met with Council on Aging, the new CEO, Jamie, and the last I heard, there were like 150 people on the waiting list to get Meals on Wheels. And at me, I said, Jamie, what would it take to make that go away? I said, just rough guess. I'm thinking like $8,000 a month and another 25 or 30 volunteers for distribution. She said, yeah, that's pretty much it. But she said, we kind of went from 150 on the waiting list down to like 8. She said, and we'll get it. But she said, there's always a need for people to deliver Meals on Wheels. There's always a need for people to help put them together in the kitchen. There's always a need for helpers at all their day programs. There's a day program every day of the week, somewhere in Sonoma County, sometimes 2 or 3 places in Sonoma County on the same day. And if you have a couple hours, you could help out and be an aid at these day programs, they're respite programs for people with dementia and Alzheimer's. What a great way to serve your community without having to buy anything or learn anything. Just show up and help. And COTS has always ways for people to volunteer down in Petaluma. Go down and work in Mary's Table. It's the kitchen down there. There's always something we can do. But it's up to you. You want to go home and turn it on and get caught up in the quagmire of whatever it might be, chaos, or do you want to really enrich your life by loving others, by serving, by having gratitude, by caring? I try all the time to find opportunities to where I don't care if you got 1 hour a year, 1 hour a month, 1 hour a week, 1 hour a day, 1 day a year, 1 day a month. Just if you want to serve somebody and aren't sure how, oh, there's ways. There's an infinite number of ways. We think the chaos is pretty huge. There's been chaos ever since there have been 5 people on the face of the earth, and always will be. And we can choose to be part of that chaos, rant and rave, or we can choose to be caretakers of this planet, of each other. I think that's why mankind was created. It can actually do things and create things and do work. I think the design is to be caretakers of one another, caretakers of this planet. And this is the day of the rose. Everybody's talking about roses, and oddly enough, our last song is going to be The Rose. And I was talking to Wayne. He said, that's kind of a meditative song. And I said, perfect. The Rose is the kind of song that hangs with you. You'll be humming it while you're having next door, having coffee and cookies as we get together for our weekly fellowship. You'll be humming it on the way home. Hopefully you'll be thinking about it at 4:30 this afternoon or 5, whenever the game's over. Call somebody you've been thinking about. Or maybe you're not into sports, and while the rest of the world is watching the game, why don't you call somebody that's in a rest home, that's in a care facility? I was just sitting here, I couldn't stand watching sports, I just had to talk to somebody I care about. There's no finer feeling. There's no greater enrichment that any of us can ever add to our lives than loving each other. That's all I got. Let's stand up and sing the rose. And be the rose, petals, and seeds, and flowers of love.